Hello and welcome to Jill Cameron Creations.
Alright, so I subscribe to the Spellbinders monthly kits, but I do just the large die of the month, small die of the month, and the Glimmer hot foil system dies. I don't do the card kit, even though I think most of the time it's really, really cute. I don't make cards that way. So this is the large die of the month, this is the small die of the month, and this is the Glimmer hot foil for this month. And you get hot foil with it. And there's that. So we are going to make something with this and probably some other things because I need sentiments. What I'm probably going to do is hang on. Yana's foiled basics kit as well. And if you hadn't seen this, this is something that Spellbinders actually announced at Creativation, I believe. And oh, there's weird noises outside. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. So it comes with instructions for a couple of different things. It's a couple different projects you can make. It has all the stuff to make those projects, including embellishments, and everything is kind of pre-cut. All the little dotty gems and stuff. This is a Glimmer hot foil plate. Glimmer hot foil plate and die. Glimmer hot foil plates and dies. And sentiment greetings, it says sending love, greetings, thank you, happy birthday, and best wishes. And it also cuts it out. And then there are 4 Glimmer hot foils in the set as well. So we are going to be using some of all of this today. And I will share that with you and build those cards. And let's get started. So the Glimmer hot foil machine has been around for a while here. Let me back out just a little bit. All right. If you haven't ever seen one before, it's an interesting contraption. This is actually a little hot plate. And it gets pretty warm. Plug it in. You have power button on the back here. You have your timer that sets over here. It plugs in, you can see, and then you have a place to put your hot dies, and you have the thin shim, and then you have the spacer plate. You have to have a die cutting machine. So I have a Platinum 6 die cut machine. You take your plates out of it to use this, because all of this goes into your die cutting machine. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is turn it on. You see it has power, platform is not ready, and the timer's not set. Once this platform goes ready, you want to set the timer, and then everything's all good to go. All right, now that my ready light has come on, and it does take a couple minutes for that to happen the first time that you do this, you're going to turn your timer on. You really should put, I'm going to have to do this twice. We're going to put this on here. We're going to put that on there. I'm going to actually do this again. It'll take just a second for this to come back on. And the reason I'm going to do this again is because I pushed the button before I put the plate on here. So I don't know that it's hot enough. But considering it's heating back up right now, I believe that's probably hot enough. So I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to pick it up just like this. And I'm just going to run it through my die cut machine. And try not to tear up everything else in my craft room while I do it. Now, I honestly don't have any idea if I put this paper on here correctly on the right side. So let's see. I did. Would you look at that? I had some schmutz on the actual paper. But that's okay. So that's how you do that. And it's nice and smooth. I have extra over here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this again because I hadn't done this in a very long time, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing it correctly. I have not done this. I haven't used my Glimmer hot foil machine in several months. So all you do, cut off however much you need. It's not quite long enough, wide enough. So I'm going to also trim off this extra. Being very careful not to burn myself. And my puppy dog is in here with us. I'm going to move this over to the side here a little bit. Hi, Jessie. Now I'm going to push the timer button. And I'm going to kind of line this up a little bit better than when I had it before. I've got my paper straight. Ooh. It's over on the edge. I'm going to plop that down. I'm going to plop that down. Now, this is one of the dies, one of the Glimmer foil plates that's from Yana's collection. And we're going to have this, but we're going to have it a little bit straighter, a little bit nicer than when we had it before. Then we're just waiting for the timer to go solid. And we're going to take this out and we're going to run it through the die cut machine. And it's solid, so I can unplug this. And I'm going to hold this just like that. And run it through my Platinum 6. I'm going to bring it back over here and plug it back up. I'm going to lift everything off. And I ended up foiling. Yep, I foiled my die. You can see it. Isn't that pretty? It's not the first time I've ever done it, and it won't be the last time I do it either. Oh, goodness me. There we go. It's already hot where it's been sitting on there. So I don't have to set the timer because it's already hot. See, card makers that are on YouTube are just as real as everything else in the world. Alright, there we go. Now, that's a little bit better. Ta-da! Now this thing comes with a great big huge magnety thing. I'm going to set that over there. And I'm actually going to pull this out for a moment and let it cool off a little bit because I have to die cut some stuff. So we are using the Art Studio Botanicals. And I'm going to use all 3 of these. And I'm going to die cut them out, the circles out of some really dark plum paper. And I want these to be individual circles and not inlaid in there. For this particular one, oh, I still have some schmutz. Let's get some schmutz out. There we go. Tooling ones are great for cleaning out your dies. Highly recommend it. All right. That off. Ta-da! And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these a couple different times so that I have I'm able to stack them up and they have a little bit of depth to them, and then we'll finish up the card. It's going to be simple. Alright, so I cut out 3 of each of these. I didn't want you to have to set through all of that, so I didn't record it. I turned off the video camera while I did that. And now I am going to do the sentiments. And I'm going to make this a thank you card. So I have dark purple. I have opal in the background on white. I don't want to do pink. I don't want to do gold. For some reason, I decided that I was going to put all of my foil on a shelf. Well, right now I can't get to my shelf unless I walk up clean around everything. So I think I'm gonna have to go with, what color is this? Moon Dust. I bet that doesn't show up. So it looks like I'm going to have to go with gold, which I really didn't want to, but that's what we're going to go with because I don't have any other colors right now. So you make the best of what you got. And I probably have an open gold over there, but that's okay. So we're going to open this. When you open these, find out which side the paper is lifting up on, which is this side, and it's a whole lot easier to peel the sticky off. All right. So, what did I say I was going to do? Thank you card. Where is it? This is tiny. Tiny, as my mama would say. Put that on there. It is a heck of a lot easier to see which side this foil is supposed to go on when it's colored. Remember, it's supposed to go the wrong way, what you would think is the wrong way up, because you want the dye to impress the gold onto the paper. So it's impressing it from the bottom up, not from the top down. Unfurl. Cut that little bit off. It pretty much relaxes out. Alright, and I'm going to push the timer. I'm going to put paper down on it. Put my shim down on it. Put my spacer pad down on it. I'm going to wait for my timer to go off. While I'm waiting on that, I'm actually going to go ahead and die cut this. I want this to be the size of it, of my panel here. And I'm going to trim this down with, I think I'm just going to go with some plain ones by Spellbinders. So I keep all of the ones that are matting basics like this pretty close by. Yep, that'll work. Since this is ready, I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and let it cool off because we're done with it for the moment. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? So delicate and gorgeous. Ah, thank you, Yana. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to grab the coordinating die here. It's warmish. I'm going to have to realign that because, oh yeah, I forgot I needed tape in my hand. And I'm going to try to do the voiceovers. I'm going to try not to do voiceovers. I'm going to try to actually do this do the talking while I'm actually making the card. I think it's going to be less time consuming. I won't have to edit as much. And it'll make me plan a little bit better. And you get to see me do stuff in real time. And that might not be a possibility all the time. And it might end up that I end up taking way too long. I don't know. We'll see. Wow, look how delicate and pretty that is. Okay. That can go there. All right. We'll move some stuff out of the way. Sorry, that's my phone notification. What I'm doing is I'm sliding this to the very bottom edge and over to the left. We are going to pop this up with some foam tape. I like my Big Mama roll of foam tape here. This is from scrapbook.com. And it's some pretty audacious stuff. It doesn't stick until you tell it to. I haven't pushed this down yet. Now it's going to stick really, really well. I like stuff I can mess with for a hot minute. While I'm straightening and making sure it's going the right way there. So we're going to pull this off, pull that off, ta-da, there's that. Now I am making sure that this is square on my mat. And then I can make sure that that's square as much as I humanly can. Because I like to do stuff by eye. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some liquid adhesive and I am going to adhere these together and stack them up. And I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to show you how to do one in case you've never done it before. But I'm going to do most of those off camera because you definitely don't want to sit here and watch me do this over and over and over repeatedly. So I use liquid adhesive. I'm not exactly neat and clean about it. I am barely even touching. I mean, I'm just holding the bottle. I'm not squeezing any of it. I'm just applying pressure to the bottle to hold it. If you're looking at how rough my hands look, I am so sorry. I can't do a whole lot about it right now because of my job. That's paying the bills at the moment. And this is just gravity and liquid adhesive. The Nuvo Deluxe adhesive gives you a hot minute to get the glue on and adhere everything together and move it around if you need to. But it doesn't take a lifetime to dry, which is what I really like about it. If you have trouble with liquid adhesive and like you get too much coming out or something along those lines, then I would also recommend a Zig 2-way glue pen. I use these a lot as well, but for something like this, I'll just go ahead and use my liquid adhesive. So I'm going to put these other ones together and I'll be right back. All right. Well, I'm almost done putting these back together and I have a little story for you. Actually, I think I did that backwards. Ooh, I did. That's not good. So, this past weekend, which today's Monday, and I'm putting this video up tonight, so this past Saturday, my cousin and I, who are great big huge geeks, went to a local Comic-Con, really small one here in our area, and James Marsters was there. And if you are a Buffy fan, you know that he played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He also guest starred on Supernatural. And if you've paid any attention to me, y'all know I love me some Sam and Dean. And we actually signed up for the not the autograph session, but the a photo session with him to get a picture with him. I'll pop it in here in the video so you can see it because it's absolutely fantastic. My cousin, who is seriously intelligent, absolutely lovely, a witty conversationalist, funny as she can be, was so starstruck that she couldn't even hardly open her mouth. I think she told him hello. And when the photographer took the picture, of course they do everything digital now, it didn't transfer to the computer appropriately where they could print it out while we were standing there. So she had to go back and take the picture again, which of course was absolutely 100% fun with us because, oh my gosh, it's, you know, it's Spike from Buffy. And we're standing there in awkward silence. And I just kind of said, you know, thanks for coming to the area and spending the day with us here in Roanoke and, you know, hanging out with your fans and stuff. And he was like, oh, this is so great. And he's from California, and a lot of people don't realize that he's not British. And he was talking about how when when he travels around and stuff, that he has to keep his food expectations managed because, you know, some areas just have really odd food. And he said that he gets cheeseburgers pretty much everywhere he goes. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. Now, what are we going to do here? What do I want? What do I want? All right. And this is how beautiful cards happen. You play. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to adhere this down right there with some liquid adhesive. And I'm putting just a shade more than what I would to adhere these together. And I actually hear it raining here again. It's ridiculous how much it's been raining. We've had an unusually warm, wet winter. Ta-da! Okay. Now, I want a shade of space between these. Oh, hey, you need to stick together. There we go. And I'm not going to put glue, liquid adhesive, all the way around the edge of this. I am just putting it where it's going to touch the paper. Now, when we go to when we go to actually snip some of this off, there we go. I'm going to let this dry really good before I do it. I'm not going to cut those leaves off. I'm just going to cut the round part off. When you're doing the composition for your card, I know part of this is hanging off, but I don't remember which part, so I'm just going to put it all the way around. There we go. When you're doing a composition for your card, think in thirds. That stripe is basically a third of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of paper. The 3 circles are obviously a third. They're in thirds as well. I mean, that's a third. It's 3 things. It visually draws your eye together. So when you're planning stuff out, that's a whole lot easier to do. Is to think in thirds. So we're going to leave this bottom one. Ta-da. So we're going to leave those hanging out. Ta-da! And then we're going to put the thank you on top of this. And that's our card front. Very simple, very white, very shiny. Ta-da! And that's it for the night.
Don't forget to subscribe to Jill Cameron Creations.